Dharma Bhakta Mathema was born as a son to father Subba Adi Bhakta Mathema and mother Chandrakumari Devi on 1909 AD, September 24th at Om Bahal in Kathmandu. Father Adi Bhakta used to bring goods from India for the Ranas. That is why Dharma Bhakta Mathema was educated in Darjeeling. Dharma Bhakta Mathema also studied in Calcutta for some time. He graduated with an IA from Scottish Church College, India. Dharma Bhakta Mathema was thin and unhealthy during his childhood, which caused other children to tease and bully him. Due to his very thin body, he was ridiculed by his friends from an early age. To put an end to all that, he joined a gym while he was in Kolkata. Constant physical exercise rapidly improved his health. He so excelled in bodybuilding that he was announced as Sri Bengal, which literally means Mr. Bengal, in the Bengalian bodybuilding contest. Bengal has been a place of political consciousness since the time of British. Besides bodybuilding, he was actively interested in politics. While staying in India, Dharma Bhakta Mathema had met Chittaranjan Das and joined in the struggle for Indian independence. After the death of Chandra Samsher during the reign of Bhim Samsher, the son of Bir Samsher, the then commanding general of the East, Rudra Samsher, went to Calcutta for treatment and met Dharma Bhakta Mathema through his son Gopal Samsher. Dharma Bhakta came to Kathmandu with Rudra Samsher Rana. He returned to Kathmandu and established a gym at his aunt's house. He introduced Nepali people to exercise of physical fitness through the use of dumbbells and barbells. He opened a gym club at the house of his aunt in Om Bahal, Kathmandu. This was probably the first gym club in Nepal. Before opening the gym club, he had to get approval from Juddha Samsher. At that time, Juddha Samsher had given permission to open a gym club, saying, "Don't get overcrowded." Many youths of Kathmandu were attracted by the novelty of the gym. The gym attracted not only the commoners but also the Rana family and the police force too. Dharma Bhakta Mathema's sister, Menka Devi Mathema, was married to Sukrara Sastri. Due to his association with Sukrara Sastri, he was more active in social service. In 1933 AD, Dharma Bhakta Mathema was married to Uttara Devi, daughter of Man Bahadur from Biratnagar. In 1933 AD, a great earthquake occurred in Nepal. Dharma Bhakta Mathema was busy in a rescue operation of the earthquake-affected people. In 1938 AD January, his wife Uttara Devi died in Kolkata while undergoing the treatment of tuberculosis. Once during the Ghoda Jatra festival, Dharma Bhakta Mathema showed his bodybuilding prowess to the people in the presence of King Tribhuvan and the Rana family in Todikal. He made different bodybuilding poses and performed many tests of strength. For instance, he put a long rod on his back and told 3 to 4 persons on each side of the rod to hang. He was then lifting those people. In another instance, he lied down on the ground and told a person to hammer his chest with a hammer. People were amazed that he was unharmed. People could not believe that a man could be so strong. King Tribhuvan was also very much impressed by his strength, so much so that he was appointed as a physical instructor to the king. A secret political party, Praja Parishad, was formed on 2nd June 1936 AD at Om Bahal Tol in Kathmandu. The founding of Nepal Praja Parishad was proposed by Dashrath Chand and Tanka Prasad Acharya in a hotel in Bhimfedi, Makwanpur district of Nepal. Praja Parishad received the support of additional people including Dharma Bhakta Mathema. The organization head office was kept in Dharma Bhakta Mathema's house in Om Bahal. The leading members of the party were Tanka Prasad Acharya, Ram Hari Sharma, Dashrath Chand, Dharma Bhakta Mathema, Jeev Raj, Chura Prasad, etc. The aim of the party was to overthrow the Rana rule and establish a democratic system of government under the leadership of King Tribhuvan Birvikram Sahadev. Dharma Bhakta Mathema was physical instructor of King Tribhuvan, which allowed Dharma Bhakta Mathema to act as a go-between the king and the Praja Parishad. Praja Parishad party worked very secretly for some years. Initially, Nepal Praja Parishad party distributed handwritten pamphlets among the people and wrote articles against the Rana dynasty in Nepal in the Indian socialist paper Janata and another paper published in Kolkata named Advance. Later, Tanka Prasad Acharya brought a printing machine from India and the organization started to distribute pamphlets against the Rana dynasty to enlighten the people against the rule of Ranas in Nepal. In spite of all odds, King Tribhuvan secretly came in touch with the leaders of the movement. On being assured of the king's support, the movement gained momentum, with the monarch as the focal point of inspiration and guidance. King Tribhuvan gave his moral support to the organization of the party. The king gave them rupees 4,000 Indian currency to meet the expense of the party. The Praja Parishad became active and started distributing pamphlets explaining the arbitrary Rana rule. For about 4 months, the government did not know who were doing it. Soon, Juddha Samsher became active in controlling the work of Praja Parishad. Juddha Samsher announced a reward of rupees 5,000 to anyone who would give the information about the Praja Parishad. The reward tempted Ramji Joshi, a member of Praja Parishad, and he disclosed the secret. There was a cinema hall in Naranhiti Palace of King Tribhuvan. Every year, during the festival of Tihar, the Rana used to give money to the king. In a conspiracy by Praja Parishad, the same cinema hall was to be bombed when King Tribhuvan will come out. On the same basis, many of the conspirators' houses were surrounded and were arrested. Juddha Samsher established a special court to deal with the prominent member of Praja Parishad. According to the court decision in 1940 AD, Dharma Bhakta, Gangalal, Sukyaraj and Dashrath Chand were given death sentences, whereas Tanka Prasad Acharya, Ram Hari Sarma, Chura Prasad and Govinda Prasad were given life imprisonment as the killing of Brahmins was not allowed under Nepali law at that time. Dharma Bhakta was arrested from his house by the Chief of Police General Nara Samsher at 7 in the morning on October 20, 1940 AD. On 1941 AD January 26, in the evening, the Rana rulers took Dharma Bhakta from Sadar Jail to Sifal via Delhi Bazar Ganeshwar at around 10 o'clock. His hands were tied behind his back and he was blindfolded. Before getting out of the truck, executioner Nara Samsher asked Dharma Bhakta his last wish. Dharma Bhakta replied in clear words, "I want to see the end of the Rana rule soon." Hearing this, Nara Samsher Rana became angry and he immediately tied Dharma Bhakta's neck in one of the branches of a tree. But Dharma Bhakta reached the ground as the branches of the tree were loose. He was not dead yet. Thus, the first hanging attempt fell. Then, another rope was tied to another branch and other gallows was made. A noose was put around Dharma Bhakta's neck. Dharma Bhakta started to panic and due to his force, the rope broke off. The rope was tied tightly around his neck. When he tried to untie it, Nara Samsher cut the rope with a knife, and again he ordered a rope to be made for the third time. Dharma Bhakta Mathema was a teacher who taught the physical exercise to the palace. Dharma Bhakta, remembering the practice of other places, said in a humble voice to Nara Samsher, "I am your teacher. I have survived the hanging twice. In such a situation, hanging again is not fair." Executioner leader Nara Samsher said, "There is no justice for you." Nara Samsher cut the Dharma Bhakta's cheek with a knife. A stream of blood began to flow from his cheek. Dharma Bhakta Mathema became very angry. At the same time, Dharma Bhakta Mathema took a bold step. He grabbed Narasamsir and kicked him. Narasamsir was thrown 5 to 6 feet away. In retaliation, Narasamsir ordered the soldiers to beat Dharma Bhakta Mathema. 10 to 15 soldiers together attacked on an unarmed Dharma Bhakta Mathema, whose hands were also tied. They all started beating Dharma Bhakta Mathema in a very inhuman manner, very cruelly. Dharma Bhakta Mathema fainted slowly. He fell to the ground. The soldiers again tied the rope, and 8 to 9 people grabbed him by the branch and raised him. And a noose was put around his neck. Then, at about 12 o'clock in the morning, Dharma Bhakta Mathema died in a very inhuman way. The next morning, some religious people who were on their way to Pasupati temple saw this ungodly, oppressive scene. They saw the body of Dharma Bhakta Mathema lying on a tree. His feet almost seemed to touch the ground. His throat was cracked. Eyes were half open. Blood were coming out of his mouth. There was a cut in his cheek, and there was a streak of blood on it. Dharma Bhakta was under a lot of pressure to apologize. He was a wrestler. The Rana not only tortured him physically, but also forced him to undergo injection to weaken him. Dharma Bhakta Mathema told this incident to his cousin sister at the last meeting. In this way, he was physically weakened and was forced to apologize during the intense torture. But he regained his composure and fought valiantly until the last moment, but did not beg for mercy. He did not even die even after being hanged twice. The claim for his life after twice failed attempt to hang him was the right according to the custom. In many countries, a person who has been sentenced to death is considered to have paid the penalty if he survived by chance once he was hanged. But the Rana did not care that Dharma Bhakta did not die even when he was hanged twice. He was hanged for the third time. On 24th January 1941 AD, Dharma Bhakta Mathema was hanged till death at Sifal, Kathmandu at midnight. Dharma Bhakta Mathema was a professional bodybuilder as well as a founding member of Praja Parishad Party of Nepal. He introduced modern bodybuilding techniques in Nepal, but he is better known for his contribution to the Nepalese struggle for freedom against hereditary prime ministership of Rana's dynasty. His statue is found along with other 3 martyrs in Sahid Gate Memorial in Kathmandu. A school is also established on his name, Sahid Dharma Bhakta School, currently located in Nakhu, Lalitpur. Thank you.